So, huge PlayStation 3 emulation update, the return of Socom, Killzone or Resistance, and Intergalactic the Heretic Prophet update. Those are the stories we're going to cover today, and if you could hit that like button on the video, thank you to those that do it, and as always, it's very much appreciated. First, yes or no, are you excited for Intergalactic the Heretic Prophet or not? Seeing the conversation online about Intergalactic, it's pretty clear there's a divide when it comes to this game. So where are you guys on it currently? So comment below yes or no if you're excited for Intergalactic the Heretic Prophet or not. Let me know down in the comments below. Now, diving into the first story of the video, Intergalactic the Heretic Prophet update. Reading from MP first, although in recent years Naughty Dog titles have expanded to offer far larger play areas such as Uncharted 4's open world like zones, for the most part their experiences have remained pretty linear. Well, that might be changing with Intergalactic the Heretic Prophet, as a new rumor claims that the studio is taking inspiration from Software's 22's Elden Ring, specifically when it comes to player freedom, which we can only assume pertains to how Elden Ring allows nearly complete freedom of where you can go, while also managing to offer something to explore. In an episode of Min-Max, founder Ben Hansen commented via Okami, "I've heard Naughty Dog's next game is very inspired by a game with a lot of player freedom. Elden Ring is what it was compared to. It's taking place on one planet, uncovering the history of this world. You can kind of see a little bit of where they might be going with that. Whether Intergalactic is open world or not is something that remains to be seen." So this is pretty much an update on what Ben Hansen said before the reveal of Intergalactic last year. He didn't say the name of the game it was being compared to last year, but people guessed it was Elden Ring, Red Dead Redemption 2, etc. because he said a lot of player freedom back then. Considering the game is focusing on one planet, or that's what seems to be the case, then we can see how this could play out where you are the player just exploring the planet of Semperia, and that's the open world of the game. I'm sure this game will have amazing gameplay, top tier visuals, world building and acting, all top tier. Now that it seems we're most likely going to get an open world game, it'll also be something fresh from the team outside of everything else, obviously, which is a big change for the studio considering this is a sci-fi game, which is a genre they haven't really touched since, I guess you can say, Jak and Daxter was a kind of a sci-fi genre over there. The part I'm curious to see how it plays out is this story, since it's focused on faith and religion. Let's see. And if you're enjoying the video so far, hit that subscribe button and join our growing community on our way to 150,000 subscribers.
Even you cannot save us from this, hero.
Now diving into the second story of the video, Killzone Socom Resistance PlayStation 5. Reading from Push Square, People Can Fly, the team behind shooters like Bulletstorm and Outriders, has announced it's entered into an agreement with PlayStation to produce a new game based on a current pre-existing Sony IP. No other details have been confirmed other than its codename, Project Delta. The technical speak confirms People Can Fly has entered production of a prototype of a new video game codenamed Project Delta based on an intellectual property rights belonging to the publisher. Currently, the studio is also collaborating with Microsoft on the development of Gears of War E-Day. Details pertaining to what Sony IP the developer is working on haven't been shared, though given its background, the chances it's some kind of shooter are fairly high. This could bring the possibility of a new Killzone game, the return of Resistance, a Socom title, or maybe even another MAG. What we do know is the project is based on a current Sony IP. So people are taking shots at the studio because of their past work, but personally for me, I enjoyed Outriders. I played through that game on Series X and PlayStation 5. In terms of what they could be working on based on the project name, it sounds like something military related, which could mean it's for Socom, which is what I've seen people get excited about online. On the other hand, of course, Resistance, MAG, Killzone also all have militaries in their game as well, but Socom was the first one that came to mind for me. I'd love to see any of these IPs come back, but I don't see Insomniac letting anyone touch Resistance. Killzone, maybe that could happen. Socom, yeah, obviously since the original studio is gone, and MAG honestly was kind of ahead of its time with its large-scale warfare back in the day. It was crazy that was on PlayStation 3 that was running, so that could be something that works in today's climate. I hope Sony does more of this if this studio is bringing back an old IP. Sony has so many IPs to work on, and there are capable studios out there that can take them on. We don't have to just leave them dormant forever to never come back. But you guys let me know if you want Socom, Killzone, or Resistance to return. Let me know down in the comments below. And now diving into the final story of the video, a huge PlayStation 3 emulation update. So this is actually a story from earlier this month, but I don't really cover the mobile space, but I did want to talk about it here. Reading from Notebook Check, less than 3 months ago, the RPCS3 team shared that the Android version of the PS3 emulator is not coming anytime soon. However, an alpha version for Android has now been rolled out, which apparently took less than a week. Game console emulation on mobile is growing thanks to a large number of gaming handhelds running Android being available on the market. The same goes for iOS, as Apple now allows emulators on its App Store, while a good number of old consoles like the PlayStation Portable can be emulated on both of these platforms. PlayStation 3 emulation has yet to make its proper debut on smartphones, and it seems that won't take long. Of course, given that it's a very early build of the Android PS3 emulator, a lot of things won't go as they should. For example, many games may not launch at all, and the ones that do, they may not play correctly. Even so, this is a good level of progress given that late last year, the team didn't offer much hope for RPCS3 landing on iOS and Android this soon. Worth noting that this became possible thanks to the ARM release of the PS3 emulator, which happened last December. So to me, when I saw this, it was crazy that smartphones are already beginning their journey to get proper PlayStation 3 emulation functional on the platform. I saw clips of this running right now, and obviously it's not great, but the fact that it's there is wild to me. Things should improve over time, like with any emulator, and Android devices get stronger every year. We've heard that Sony is working on their own emulation, and obviously Sony has to release something proper on a production scale, not like what RPCS3 does, where games slowly become playable over time and people are accepting of that, obviously because it's free and you're using an emulator. They understand the situation. But Sony, people expect something that works properly and does things properly from day one. Let's hope we hear about Sony's progress on PS3 emulation this year, but you guys let me know if you think it's wild that PlayStation 3 emulation is coming to Android. That to me is insane. Let me know down in the comments below, and if you guys did enjoy this video, please hit that like button as it always helps, and subscribe if you're new. I got new videos every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, and now I'll check you guys out on the next one. And welcome back to the after show. This is the part of the video where we have a little fun down in the comments below. If you're old, welcome back. If you're new, welcome. For today's thing, what I want you guys to do is to body, obliterate, destroy, and overall harass the comment section with the return of the classics. Obviously, this is in reference to the emulation or even studios taking on older IPs like potentially People Can Fly. I think Sony really needs to do more with their older IPs. Infamous could be produced by another studio. Another studio could take that on. It's a hero game. They could be a bunch of people that actually maybe worked on Infamous from back in the day. For example, it doesn't have to be that these old IPs just remain dormant unless their studios decide to work on them one day, if ever, and they don't potentially also work on a new IP, which doesn't seem to be the case. These studios are all going to be working on new IP. The only one I could think of is Insomniac, who still makes Ratchet and Clank games, which I love, but that's not the case for everyone. Hopefully, we get more studios working on older IPs, and this emulation for PlayStation 3 comes to fruition with the PlayStation 5 in the near future, hopefully. But if you guys are excited for the return of classic IPs, destroy the comment section with the return of the classics, and I'll definitely heart those comments like I always do, because I appreciate everybody who stays to the end of my videos. And now, I'll check you guys out on the next one.
Playing hell with our landings. You two, approach on the right flank.